Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Ask Brian. I have another question that I've gathered from a friend, and this is concerning the new Chromebook devices. So let's dive into the question and see where it goes. Brian, my parents need a new computer as their current computer is very old and slow. Yeah, I understand that. I've heard about switching to Chromebooks as a possible replacement, but both parents are very resistant to change. Yeah, I understand that as well. Even as I'm getting older, I'm starting to become more and more resistant to things just rapidly changing, picking up a new technology. I push myself because that's my field that I'm in, but I understand. Could you explain the key differences between a Chromebook and a Windows computer and help us decide if the Chromebook is the better device for our parents? Thanks. Yes, Chromebooks are these great devices that are actually making a pretty big impact in the world. If you've used a modern day Windows machine, you get updates and you get all these different things. There's the threat of viruses and malware. There's different things that you have to update and configure. And sometimes I'll turn on my laptop and it'll be updating for 15 minutes when I just needed to sign on to take care of something really quick. And all these different things are going on, and I really just want a device that helps me accomplish my very basic tasks. One thing about Chromebooks that are nice is they're very minimalist, and the majority of users don't actually need Windows, in my opinion. You look at the different types of devices. Yes, Windows has access to a lot of different programs and applications, but the majority of users these days, I've found, just use their Windows operating system to load up a web browser. So the cool thing about Chromebooks is you're able to basically run just the web browser and extensions of the web browser. So, the first thing you need to do is take kind of like a mini survey for a week or a month or, however long you can to get an idea of what you need. The majority of times when you open it, you're going to look and say, I'm just using the web browser. I often challenge people to tell me 5 or 6 different things that they use on a computer other than the web browser. And it gets more and more difficult to do that. Now, sure, you have Windows 10 with different applications, but the majority of things can be done through the web. The first thing you need to do is figure out, what do your parents need their computer for? If it's things like my parents, which are eBay, email through like Gmail and Yahoo Mail, Facebook and other social networking sites, and just doing research. You just listed 4 things that happen on a web browser. So I often say that the Chromebook is the superior device in this case. Again, it comes down to what you need it for. If you have specific games on Windows or things like that, then you may run into some issues. I have a Chromebook because I use it for YouTube. Well, not recording on YouTube from my Chromebook. I'm using a smartphone. It takes better videos. But, I use web browsing, I make websites, I build and maintain websites, and the majority of my teaching actually happens through web browsers. So this really does make it a perfect device for me. Now, I do play some games and things like that, so I do have a Windows device, and I edit videos and all that kind of stuff, but having a Chromebook is really nice. So some of the things, first off, you brought that up, that your device is getting very old and slow. Well, Chromebooks tend to have better security, in my opinion, because the only thing that you need to defend is the Chrome operating system, which is maintained by Google, and they do a pretty good job of, making everything very mainstream, very flatlined. You don't have to, adjust things, change settings, install an antivirus, update all these different things. The only thing that happens on the Chromebook is they push out an update every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe, and there's a little icon at the bottom. You click it, it just says, hey, we got to restart your device, and you're good to go. So for the 30, 40 seconds you have to reset a device, that's it. You're good. So, I really do recommend Chromebooks. Or they even have something called a Chromebox, which is actually like a desktop operating, kind of like a desktop that operates like a normal desktop would. You just kind of put it on the back of your monitor and it's just kind of works. It's a smaller device. It takes up less space. And yeah, it just kind of works. But even with the Chromebook, it's nice because you can carry it around. You can move it places. All it needs is Wi-Fi access. A couple things that are maybe not complaints, but criticisms of Chromebooks is they don't store a lot of data on them. I have a Chromebook, I think it has like a 16 gigabyte storage capacity on it, Now, that is to say that it does pair with services like Google Drive, which allows you to store another 15 gigabytes of space. For the average person, that's about what you need. Would I like to upgrade the storage inside of my Chromebook? Sure, but if that gets too pricey, I'm going to avoid that. So I really do like the idea of running a Chromebook. I think, a trial run or allowing somebody to just kind of list all the things that they use their computer for to get a better insight is definitely worth exploring. Chromebooks are great. They're small, they're compact, you can bring them with you. Their battery life lasts a very long time because, again, it's just doing the web browsing activity. Watch videos and stuff, that'll like kill some battery life, but for the majority of use, they're great. They're convenient. They can be moved around. They're lightweight. They're pretty durable. I've dropped a Chromebook on accident. Still works just fine. Has a little scratch on the top, but I threw a sticker on it and I'm good. But the same thing with, a regular computer. Certain things, though, laptops will have a hard disk drive usually in them for larger capacities. So if you do drop your laptop, you risk basically losing all of your data and destroying the system. But Chromebooks have a solid state drive so they have everything's kind of like built into circuitry into there. So it's much less likely to break. Chromebooks are also significantly cheaper and they don't really get clogged with viruses. And the cool thing about Chromebooks is they literally have like the nuke option where you just go into settings, click on it, and boom, it just basically wipes everything clean and it factory resets it. And all that you need to do is sign back into your Google account. That does bring us to my final criticism of Chromebooks. Everything should usually be done through one Google account. If you have parents who kind of have 5 or 6 accounts all floating around and they do things through all of them, they're going to need to learn some account management. So, I have my main, professional Google account. I have a personal one as well. So I kind of bounce back and forth between those on my Chromebook, and I think it works pretty nice. I'm also paying the $2 a month for I think it's like 200 or 100 gigabytes of storage through Google Drive, which has been a lifesaver for me multiple times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, these things work great. And for the average user, someone who's just going to browse the web, Facebook, Twitter, eBay, or other types of sites like that, email, and videos, that's all you need. So I'm going to reiterate, I think the Chromebook is a great device to start exploring. My suggestion would not to be buying the cheapest Chromebook because they kind of have lower end specs on it, like, RAM and storage and processor, which they'll still work and they'll work pretty fine. But when you're looking at a device that starts at $200 versus a $300, $400, or $500 or $600 laptop or even like a desktop that hits those ranges, you might as well throw an extra $100, $150, like $350, $400 for a Chromebook. You'll probably be getting a really, really nice device and product to play around with. So I'm going to pretty much leave it at that. Do some research, stop by a store, check them out, tally up your software and everything that you use, and see if that is the right device for you. They're less confusing to use. They're easier to fix, where you can literally give step-by-step phone instructions on, okay, click on the bottom, click on settings, click factory reset, click yes, I'm sure, and then let it do its thing. Yeah, they're awesome products. So I'm a fan of Chromebooks for specific uses, of course. So anyway, I hope that helped. I will leave a description, a video, or a link in the video description. There we go. Those are the words that I wanted. Where you can check out some of the modern day Chromebooks. I'll update that list every once in a while. If you want me to give you recommendations for the most modern one, like my updates are kind of outdated, toss a question in the comments and I'll be sure to reply with whatever I think is best for you. So anyways, hope this helps. Best of luck, and don't be afraid to give Chromebooks a try. Thanks for watching.